Hello everyone, I'm back in my scrappy Advent journal. So it's been a really crazy couple of days. Let me take a seat. Yeah, we've had snow here, completely unexpected snow at the weekend, and quite a lot of it, which has meant that we couldn't get off our drive. My brother was here, he was snowed in. We've just had a power cut as well, so I've had to light luckily we've got a log burner which keeps me lovely and warm and toasty, and it's just there right next to me. So I'm okay, and I've managed to make a weird non-caffeinated drink using our gas hob, so that is nice. And I thought I would sit down and just spend some time journaling with you guys. Yeah, I think I'm really feeling the Christmas crazies today. I think there's always a point, isn't there, at Christmas where it just feels overwhelming, and it feels like, you know, you've done a bit of preparation, but have you done enough? There's those tricky people you still haven't bought gifts for. Today is the kids' nativity at school. So they were all just a bit hyper and stressed about that. Yeah, I just feel like the stress has hit today, to be honest with you. Maybe you're all just really peaceful and organised and chilled out. But I am not feeling that right now, and that is a perfect time just to sit down, to take a breath, to open up our journals, just maybe for like 15-20 minutes, and just bring that stress to God. So that is what I'm going to do in my journal today. So I think I'm going to start with a bit of writing, because I like to get all those, particularly when I'm feeling kind of a bit churned up, I like to write it out, and that's a really good place to start. So I've just got a gel pen here. Remember, we're working from our Advent kit. I've stuck all my bits of collage and paints that are in my colour scheme in a bag, so I'm all ready to go. And I've got my Advent words as well. I am really drawn to the word ready. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that, but right now that is the one that's calling to me, because I do not feel ready for anything right now. Right, so I'm just going to start with writing out a stream of consciousness on my page. A prayer, really. I'm going to start with Dear Lord. Thank you that when we feel overwhelmed, we can come into your beautiful presence and breathe and receive your peace. I've just written, will I ever feel ready? And then I've written, ready for what? which is a really good question, isn't it? Maybe we're trying to get our kids ready for school. Maybe we're trying to get our house ready to receive visitors, and whatever pressure we're putting on ourselves in that regard. But what we really need to be doing is getting our hearts ready to fully appreciate the gift of Christmas that is Jesus. And in our rush and busyness to be ready in all sorts of other ways, I feel like we can just lose sight of that completely, really. I'm going to stick a bit of collage on now, I think. I love whenever I see a bit of collage like that, that's from a magazine or something like that. It's kind of out of focus fairy lights. I always tear it out because I think it's so lovely. Let me get my glue. Collage is always calming. Collage in the presence of the Lord. Hope we get to do it in heaven. I was thinking that the other day. Do you think we will? Yeah, I love this because it's light in the darkness, isn't it? Like that beautiful passage at the beginning of John's Gospel. The light has shined in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's such a lovely passage, isn't it? In fact, I'm going to go and... Sorry, I haven't even got my Bible with me. Let me go and find a Bible. This is all about being ready, isn't it? Here we go. It talks about John the Baptist making way. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. The true light that enlightens everyone was coming into the world. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. John testified to him and cried out, "This was he of whom I said, he who comes after me ranks ahead of me, because he was before me." I don't know what translation this is, an RSV. From his fullness we have all received grace upon grace. Thank you, Lord, that there is grace for today. There is grace for our unreadiness in every way, even our spiritual, and especially our spiritual unreadiness. Was the world ready for Jesus to come? In one sense, yes, because there'd been all these prophets, all these hints and prophecies all the way through the Old Testament that there was an expected Messiah. But obviously when Jesus came, they didn't recognize him because they were expecting something completely different. They were getting ready for something that wasn't quite right. Somebody was going to overthrow the Romans, like a military leader or something like that. And when Jesus came and was born in a stable and was this humble guy from this backwater town called Nazareth, they weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for that kind of Messiah. And John says here, I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness, make straight the way of the Lord. Make straight the way of the Lord. I like that idea of making straight for Jesus. Instead of making straight our scatter cushions and our wreaths on our doors and all that stuff. We can do all that stuff, but are we making straight for Jesus? I'm saying this to you guys because I'm challenging myself and feeling quite convicted, really, of my stress about things that do not matter. And it's really good. This is why doing some kind of journaling in this season is just so important, because it's just that little hook. Just going to stick those petals back on. I haven't got too much of that now. Gel medium. If I zoom in a bit for you guys, because it's always so small. There we go. Right. So I like that idea of make straight the way for the Lord. I might try and write that on. Got some Posca paint pens here. I could write it straight on the page, or I could write it. Oh wow, look at this. This is pretty cool. Maybe I'll write it on that astonishingly magenta piece of paper there. Make straight the way of the Lord. That's good. I'm just looking to see if I've got a magazine handy that I could. Oh, what's down here? Have a look for some kind of image. I'm thinking a road would be fab, wouldn't it? If I could find a road with a very mouldy ancient copy of a newspaper here. Sorry, it's off screen, but I've been using it to light the fire with. It's been hanging around in the garage for ages, so I'm just seeing if I can find anything that looks like maybe a map. If I had a bit of a map, that would be good. What have I got in my collage stash here? So Sorry, this is the thing if I'm doing these live. You have to watch me faffing around trying to find things that, because I'm not very organised. But do you like it? Do you like seeing this in real time with me? Really, I haven't prepared this at all. I'm genuinely responding to things as they occur, rather than being a bit more curated like I am with my pre-recorded videos. So yeah, let me know in the comments, which do you like better? Do you like live or do you like pre-recorded? Because we could do either, couldn't we? Okay, I don't think I'm getting anywhere with these images that I'm trying to find. Lots of pictures of food. Okay, there's a oh, there's a road here. Right. Sorry, I'll show you in just a second. Okay. There's a little bit of a road there. A winding road. Could maybe cut that out. Yeah, so I didn't even know I was gonna feel drawn to that passage in John. I hadn't thought of a Bible verse beforehand. Didn't even know which word I was going to go for. So I do all this just trying to tune in to the Holy Spirit. Well, tuning into myself first of all and figuring out what's going on with me, and then just bringing that before God and seeing what happens, really. And that's how I roll. And that's what you're seeing. Not sure that's even obvious what that is. Is that working? Kind of lost its context a bit, hasn't it, without all this? Okay, I don't think that's working. So I am going to do something else instead. I think I might try and draw something. Maybe draw something that feels like perspective. I'm trying to find a straight edge now. Here we go. Like those drawings you used to do as a child at school with when you were learning about perspective and vanishing points, do you remember? And you used to draw like roads kind of going into the distance. Like this kind of thing. I kind of want it to be symbolic rather than something that really looks like a road. So I might do some extra stripes. Along there like that. think someone posted, one of my friends posted on Facebook a little graphic, and it said, you know, if the house isn't decorated, it's still Christmas. If the presents aren't wrapped, it's still Christmas. And it went through this list of things that we expect to be all the things that make Christmas. And then it said, but if there's no Christ, or if you're not thinking about Christ, it's not Christmas. And that's so true, isn't it? That's the thing. That's who we need to be ready for. Okay, I like that. I'm going to put my ready there because I like I'm liking that kind of direction. So let's stick that on there. Just using a bit of gel medium to do that. And I might just stick that along there. Shall I chop them up? The way. Jesus is the way. Don't have a paintbrush handy at all today, so I'm just using my fingers. Okay, I really like how that's coming along. I might just outline those words a little bit. Where's my Posca pen? I love the fact we've got a bit of gold going on here that was just on the page already. I just dump any leftover paint from doing things. I just dump it on another page, and it just all adds to the background and gives you a head start, really. I think that's probably enough going on there, really. Might just add a little bit of, what should I add? A little bit of white splatter, maybe. Or, okay, let's see if I can do it with this one. It's not going to splatter, so I'm going to just add some dots. Seeing as it's snowing outside. And we were not ready for the snow in any way. And I was not ready for the power cut. But it doesn't matter. Okay, right. Well, I think that will do for today. So yeah, I feel like the Lord has challenged me about my priorities today. Felt he's reminded me of the fact that it's all about preparing for the Lord, preparing for Jesus. And that's a good reminder, isn't it? So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're enjoying your Advent journaling as well. Please do like this video if you liked it and hit that subscribe button, because that really not only helps me keep in touch with you, but also helps this video get to more people. So I'd love it if you could do that. God bless you. I hope to do one more at least of these before Christmas. Yeah, take a breath, take some time for you and God, and I'll see you soon. Bye.